Good morning. This is Mona, and this is my morning view. Today, it is the summer edition, 2025. I believe it's the 10th of July. 10th of July. And today is Thirsty Thinking Thursday. So I had a really amazing Thirsty Thinking Thursday this morning. You missed it. I did not have a lot of energy on my phone. What's that called? My battery was going low. So I didn't want to chance doing my morning view while I was on my walk. I didn't want to chance it and it run out of battery, because then it is just lost in limbo, and whoever watched it live and nobody else does, because it doesn't get to be uploaded when that happens. I've had that happen before. Didn't check my battery and it ended before I ended and then it was lost. So I decided, no, I'll just save it. I'll charge my phone and then do my morning view on a full battery. Not that I'm going to use the entire battery to do this morning view. And of course, the morning view that I gave this morning, impromptu, in my head, as I'm on my walk, I do not remember it. For you. It may have been just a message for me, and it downloaded into my heart versus, excuse me, mister, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, come off of that. Okay. That's why I have tape all over my screen. Actually, that tape was from our last cat, who did the same thing. He wants out. He wants to be out here, but it's not safe for him to be out here. We have animals that would like to eat him. Birds that would like to eat him. More likely the birds. They've eyeballed him through that tree, sitting at that tree, looking into that window, into that screen door, while he was wanting out. They're like, yeah, come on out, kitty, kitty. No, not happening. All right, I have to have a cup of regular coffee this morning. I have to have a regular cup because I've had 2 cups of decaf, and I fell asleep after my walk. Well, I fell asleep before my walk, too. So I couldn't sleep at 3 o'clock, so I got up. And then I fell asleep somewhere around 5:30-ish. Till about 5:45. 15-minute thing. It was quick. And I was like, oh, I should go on my walk. I'm like, oh, but I haven't charged my battery yet. Because I don't charge it at night. There's wisdom to that, not charging it at night. There's a lot of fires that start because of plugged-in batteries. That happened to my brother-in-law and his family shortly after my sister-in-law passed away. They had a battery that was for a remote control car plugged in the garage. It was a harsh thing to go through when they hadn't finished grieving. So, lesson learned. I don't do it out of fear. I am not afraid that my phone will start a fire. Wisdom and fear are not the same thing. People sometimes mask fear with what sounds like wisdom. And sometimes People use wisdom to mask their fear. But they are not the same thing. So, faith. Faith is something I was thinking about this morning. I had multiple things in my head this morning. Faith. I talked to you guys about faith. I know I'm probably not supposed to drink. I'm not supposed to touch my face, and I keep putting my hair back. touching my face. All those things you're not supposed to do on YouTube because for some reason people won't follow you if you touch your face, if you pull your hair back, if you drink your coffee. Please. This is a conversation. Me and you. You're sitting here with me. You're standing here with me. I'm having a conversation with you. My normal mannerisms is what comes out on the REAL and not the REEL. Yes, I do have to watch how I do things on video, but I'm not going to worry about it. If it happens, I only mention it as a reminder of, oh, you know what? You really should do that less. This is a really messed up cup. I love this cup. I use it all the time, but it's really stained. It is very, very stained, and I don't have the muscle power to get it clean. We'll get this show on the road. We will. It's Thirsty Thinking Thursday. Faith. All right. Not everything's guaranteed. Life isn't guaranteed. You do all the things right that you know of, and you still don't live a long life. It happened to my sister-in-law. She did everything right that we know of, as far as, taking care of her body, being healthy, exercising, eating fairly right. I mean, considering, the American diet. So many people I know who have passed. People of faith that have passed. People that believed that they would live and not die. Holding fast to that scripture. Now, there are some that would say it was their faith that was the problem. That they didn't actually believe that God would heal them. Or they spoke the opposite of what that entailed. For example, I feel tired today. I fell asleep multiple times, but I also got up at 3 o'clock in the morning. But I find myself saying, oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. And when you say that a lot, well, guess what? Your voice has power. It has power of life and death, and I've talked about that before. Another thing that I've learned is we behave from our faith. So if our behavior is, I believe God heals, which I do, I absolutely believe He heals today, that God heals, then my behavior would be such as, okay, I'm proclaiming His health now. Not, oh, I'm so tired. See, for me to say I'm tired doesn't necessarily have to do with my lack of sleep. Because I slept well. We went to bed about 9 o'clock last night, which is a little late for us. We usually are in bed at 8:30. But at 9 o'clock is when I went to bed. That's still not horribly late. Even if it took me, say, a half an hour to fall asleep, which I don't think it did. and I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's not horrible sleep. I slept. See, I know that the autoimmune causes tiredness. It doesn't help that I'm finding hair in my comb. So I'm seeing the symptoms. But the numbers are all good. The numbers are all good. Now, I've known many holistic doctors talk about how your numbers could be good, but that thing could still be biting you in the ass. Oh, it's not Feisty Friday, sorry. It's why this is not geared for children. If you notice, my morning view is for adults when you go to YouTube. Now, my granddaughter has found me on shorts. So, anyways. She's 2. Like, just barely 2. And she started laughing in the other room. And my daughter's like, what is she laughing about? She's in there watching, like Blimpie and, those type of shorts. She walks in and there I am and she's laughing. She goes, Grandma! So back to the story. Me saying I'm tired is not from lack of sleep, which would be understandable. It is from something else. Something other than sleep. So either it is a spiritual battle that I am battling with, which I still think very plausible just by knowing how this disease came upon me and what the first symptoms were. The first symptoms were that I couldn't raise my hands over, say, here. Couldn't raise them. Well, right now I'm having an impingement problem, so I'm having a hard time. Oh, look at that. Oh, no, that's where it hurt. But sometimes I don't get it raised very much. But that's a whole nother issue. This was a painful muscle failure that was happening, that I couldn't lift my hands. And guess what my faith does? The denominations that I have associated with for my entire Christianity, they all raise their hands in praise to God. It's raising the standard. See, there's this flag that you wave when you're in battle, and you don't let that flag fall. Because if you let the flag fall, then people don't know that you're still in the battle. And it may be that you're not. Maybe you've lost the battle. So you raise that flag high. Keeping that standard high. That's just another view of looking at it. It's not the denominational view of looking at it. It's me understanding warfare. Warfare. My flag is up. I haven't given up. I'm still in this battle. And when I have victory, it'll be planted. That's why everybody wants to plant their flag. That's the flag on the moon. That's a whole nother story. Anyways. So it attacked that first. When I was alone with the Lord, I would put on worship music and I would dance. I would dance before the Lord. If I did it in public, I did it in the back. where nobody but God would see me, or an occasional person who may be looking around. Maybe the worship team would see me. But I would dance before the Lord because I didn't have a voice for the Lord. Oh, my Lord. Ah! People used to tell me lip sync. Lip sync can get everybody off key. Stop. Just stop singing. Just pretend. So for decades, I did not open my mouth in song to the Lord. At home, I did a little, until the dogs would start howling. That's when I had more than one dog. The dogs would start howling. It was like, I'm so bad that the dogs howl, but maybe I was so good that the dogs were joining in to praise the Lord. My biggest factor in not singing is I don't remember the words to the songs. I just don't. I don't remember the melody. I don't remember the harmony. I don't remember the rhythm. It's a whole jumbled mess in my head. It has nothing to do with the sickness. It's just that musical gene was bypassed. So I didn't sing. And then I decided, I'm going to sing. I'm going to sing as loud as I can possibly sing. And I'll just pray that God blocks the ears of those around me so they don't hear me get off key. So I sing really loud at church. I want to know something? People say I have a good voice. Still can't remember the words without the screen up there, flashing them in front of my face. All those wasted years because I took a negative report. But what does God tell us to do? Make a joyful noise unto the Lord. So, I didn't open up my mouth. I danced. And in that dance was my form of worship. And then this illness hit. I couldn't raise my arms. I couldn't dance. I became exhausted and couldn't read, because if I sat down to read, I'd fall asleep. Still happens today, by the way. But I have gotten better with that, with being able to read without falling asleep. I can get in a couple of pages before I crash out. And depending on what I'm doing, I can do more than that. So I started listening to Audible while reading the paper version in my hand. And that helps me to focus. It helps me to stay awake longer in the process. So there's some things that I've had to do to navigate through this. So I know the symptoms. My hair was falling out and breaking. It was horrible. Looked like a scarecrow. And my hair became a testimony of my faith as it grew out. It grew out and people would stop and they would tell me how beautiful my hair was. So then I was able to give my testimony of how God had healed me. Not taken away the disease. Not taken away the disease. The disease is still there. But how he restored. You know, I can raise my hands. I could probably do a little soft shoe. You know. I can read. There's things I can do. But lately, it's this. I'm tired. Spiritual battle spiritual battle because of how it started all those years ago. That it shows the telltale signs that the things that it attacked were the things that had to do with my faith in physical form. We're not guaranteed anything. We're not guaranteed the healing. Oh, that sounds sacrilegious, especially how much time I've been talking about faith. See, the thing with faith is I believe God can heal. And most of you probably do too. We believe God can heal. But guess what happens when it stares us in the face? It stares us in the face, too. When it stares us in the face, we act from our belief. So we say, verbally, God can heal. But in the back recesses of our mind, we're like, but will he? Will he? See, when David went up against Goliath, he had already won against the bear. He'd already won against the lion. He had some testimony behind him. But guess what? Faith isn't determined by whether anything has happened. Faith isn't determined by whether God had delivered him from the lion and had delivered him from the bear. It's not what determines faith. Faith isn't seeing signs and wonders. Because whether signs and wonders happen, they're not guaranteed. How dare you say they're not guaranteed? God promises yes and amen. Why are all my friends passing away that love the Lord, that believe in healing? Just because things don't go the way we think they should go, just because things don't go the way we expect it to go, this is how it looks like when God's in it. You know, sometimes God tells you to step out, to do something. And you step out and you do it and you fail miserably. Horrible failure. But is it? See, this is a very American concept that it's okay to fail because you learn from failure, right? You learn from failure. Those who have never failed have never tried, they say. I know a lot of people that no matter what they put their hand to do, they are blessed. Not so in my life. But that doesn't determine my faith. Just because things haven't gone the way I think they should go, or the way I expect them to go, or how I envision God's hand in my life, that doesn't determine my faith. When we fail miserably, and we're like, I thought God wanted me to do this. I really thought God wanted me to do this. Maybe he did. And maybe it went exactly how God thought it would go. But God wouldn't cause me to fail. God didn't cause you to fail. Because who said it's a fail? The part that you succeeded on is stepping out in obedience. Will you obey even if it goes south? Do you have enough faith in God that no matter what it looks like, and when everything goes south, and you're like, man, I either messed up, or I didn't hear God right, or God wasn't in it, or. But maybe that's exactly how it was to be planned. Because if you succeeded in that, then you wouldn't go to the next thing because you're being successful in that area. I mean, yes, you can be successful in one area and move into another area, but a lot of people get stuck on the good instead of moving on to the great because they're successful. But when they fail, they've learned something from that. And then they go, you know, I obeyed him. I obeyed at least what I thought was him. And as long as you thought it was God, chances are it was. It just didn't look the way you thought it would look. But I got the dream. I got the dream, and then, you know, I saw the vision. I read the word. It confirmed. Everything had confirmation. All the confirmations lined up. And it was a big fat failure. Your obedience was a success. Your obedience was a success. And you know what took that obedience? Faith. Because you didn't have anything in the background. You had no lion. You had no bear. You had nothing. There is nothing guaranteed. You know what's a guarantee? His word is faithful. But his word may not look the way you think it looks. It may not be what you conceive in your mind what it's going to be. If we had a guarantee, it wouldn't be faith. All right. That's all I have for you today. Hopefully I didn't keep you on too long. Remember to go over to YouTube, Mona E. Harrison, different than my Facebook profile, Mona E. Harrison, and subscribe. It's right about there. The button is about there on subscribe at YouTube, Mona E. Harrison. Go over there and subscribe, hit notifications, get all the bells and whistles, both Facebook and YouTube. Like, share, comment. I like comments. I like when people interact. It's a conversation. Okay? So, go there and do that. This video will be uploaded either tonight or tomorrow onto YouTube, where you'll be able to watch it fast speed in case you're catching the end. You can watch it fast speed while you're doing chores, while you're doing dishes, while you're doing, you know, whatever it is that you do, that you don't have to watch my beautiful face. You can just listen to my beautiful voice. You know, that voice that people said I can sing now when I wasn't singing. Now listen to my voice. Listen to my voice, the message that is being told. Don't just take a part of it. It's the whole thing encapsulated. Where you get this, where you get what I'm trying to drive at. What is it that I'm trying to say here? So go back and go to YouTube, Mona E. Harrison, subscribe, get all the bells and whistles, and share. If you think it's valuable, share it. All right. Blessings, everybody. Have a great day. Maybe tomorrow I'll be on time. But it was still morning, so it's still my morning view. Yes. All right. Sometimes I've had to use my native Californian in me and say it's morning in California, and sometimes I've had to use my friends in New Zealand and say, you know what, it's morning still in New Zealand. It might be the next day, but it's morning. All right. Blessings, everybody. Have a great day. And I will see you tomorrow for Feisty Friday. Don't forget, Feisty Friday, the day I get to offend. All right. Bye.